Hey, there you are. And here I am. And here's my coffee. I can't show you that to you yet, though. Because I can't drink it yet. Because there's not time. Because we always give people 30 seconds. So they can see the notification go, Jeremy's live. I'm going to stop what I'm doing and go watch him drink coffee and talk about silly things. And sometimes poignant things. 3, 2, Good morning, everybody, and welcome. Today is Tuesday. It is June 15th, 2021. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Well, I hope you had a good Monday. It was a tough Monday coming back because I had, like 7 meetings, 8 meetings. It was just a bunch of meetings. And I was just about done with all the things I wanted to get done for the day. And I got a text from a friend. She's like, help, I have a flat tire. And it was pretty nearby, and I was like, all right, maybe I'll go to the gym after. But I didn't. She wanted to go to dinner. She was like, she's like, thank you, can we go to dinner? So we went to dinner. It's okay. You gotta help people out when they need your help. Good morning, Francis. When a friend asks for help, you help. Right? Life advice from Letterkenny. If you haven't seen Letterkenny, you should watch Letterkenny. I would love to be part of a comedy. I really would. I would love to be part of some kind of sitcom-y sort of show. That would be a lot of fun. I don't know that I have the acting chops to pull it off. Oh, I'm funny in person. Am I funny reading from lines? I don't know. Can I act? I don't know. But it'd still be fun to be involved. I'd probably be a pretty good comedy writer. I suspect that. I will likely never find out. Well, I'm still dealing with critters. I found more evidence of a chipmunk again yesterday. So trap is back out. Man, these guys are brutal. I think one of the things I'm going to have to do is cover some of these garden beds with like steel mesh. With like wire mesh to keep them out. At least some of the beds. I think I have some pieces big enough. That or everything has to, I can't put seeds out. Because they're digging up everything. They're digging up bok choy seeds. Like these guys are ruining my life. Not really. They're ruining my gardens. I didn't even go down and check the new one. Oh, I don't want to now. I just thought of that. Well, otherwise, yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday. Lots of meetings. Lots of email. I approved the proof for Marshall Journal print edition. It's ready. So, just an update on that. The expectation originally was that the company, we were going to give them a list and they were going to pack and ship everything. And that's not what happened. We were below the threshold. I think I mentioned this last week. In order to do that, they needed 500 copies. We're only doing a limited run of just over 100. I think we decided to do like 110 or something. Because apparently in commercial printing, they can go plus or minus 5%. I had no idea. Now, if we did 100, needed 100, they were short 5%, that wouldn't work. So we had to go. So we're probably going to end up with like 2 or 3 copies, which we'll save and do something with in the future. But when those are done, they come here. And then when they come here, I put them in envelopes and I mail them. That's going to take a little while. Well, it'll take me a couple hours. I'll set up a stand in front of the TV and just put an assembly line together. But here's the plus side of that. It's an envelope. You know what envelopes hold? Whatever you want to put in them. There are other things I can put in that. I don't know what yet. Stickers? Whistlekick commemorative pins? 2 other kinds of stickers? Discount coupons for whistlekick.com or whistlekickprograms.com. We got lots of options. We'll find out. All right. We'll do something. We'll do something. Signed headshot of my face? We will not do that. Now today's a recording day. I have 4 episodes to record. 9, 11, 1, and 3. And then, after that, I'll go to the gym, and I'll come back, and I'll eat some food, and while I'm eating food, I will be watching a movie for the next episode of How to Fight. We are recording that tomorrow, midday, bringing on one of my great friends in the martial arts. I don't think he watches this show, so I could really talk him up. That would be fun. He's a really good guy, really supportive. Could ask him for pretty much anything, and he'd do it. Let me talk about that for a second. I think one of the biggest shifts that I'm making in my life right now is a shift away from people. Stacy says, good morning, Jan. Good morning, Stacy. I'm making a shift away from people who don't show up for me. I've had a rough year, and things have gotten a lot better. But I had some personal stuff, and my father passed away, and there are a bunch of people who just plain didn't show up. People who claim to care about me. Some of them I even called them on. I'm like, what the hell? Sorry. And I'm sorry to say it, but recently there have been some other things, and so I'm figuring out how I want to handle this, because some of these people are pretty deeply ingrained in my life. But I'm not going to give them more attention. When you historically put more into any kind of relationship than the other person or other people, it doesn't work. It's not sustainable. What's a martial arts school look like where the instructor shows up every class early, gives them themselves, gives extra stuff, helps you outside of class, and then students are hit or miss? That doesn't work. That sucks. I've known instructors like that. And then I've also known the flip. I've known students who are incredibly dedicated to their instructors, and their instructors don't care about them. I've had instructors like this. Relationships should be as close to 50-50 as possible. But if they can't be, you shouldn't be in it. A good relationship, whether it's a friendship or a romantic relationship, a business relationship, the healthiest ones are the ones where both sides feel like they're getting the better end of the deal. And if it is horribly obvious that one side is taking advantage of the other, that's not healthy, and that should not exist. People need to stop engaging in those. I spent a lot of time in my 20s just looking for people to validate me. And I would step into any kind of friendship, any kind of romantic relationship I could that gave me some sense of validation as a person. I don't need that anymore. I'd rather be alone. I'd rather be single. I'm not alone. I am single. And both are okay. Partially because I have all of you. I have become such great friends with so many people that have come out of this community. And that's awesome. It really is. And I enjoy working with you all. I enjoy hearing from you all. And generally, when I need something and I ask for it, somebody shows up, somebody helps. And that means a lot to me. So thanks. All right, let's see what you guys give me to talk about. YouTube's recommendation algorithm is just really silly. All right, here's what it says. None of this has to do with anything I watch. All right, check this out. This is what we got. We have football highlights. I'm sorry, basketball highlights. Man, wake up, Jeremy. The most radioactive places on Earth. Our solar system's planet's Neptune. A Key and Peele sketch. Animals you'll be happy or extinct. If we go down to the fourth row, we got a video from Simon Sure. That's relevant to what I watch on this account. Oh, here's one from Francis, a couple rows down from there. So, just want to point that out. Did you guys check out the video of yesterday's episode with Chris Wilder? Had a lot of fun with Chris. Chris is a great guy. He's someone that we are actively looking for ways to work together. He has a great following, we have a great following, and more importantly, we are really strongly aligned in the way we see things, professionally, personally. If you go back to the episode, we aired part 2 of How to Choose a Martial Arts School. Jason Brick brought the two of us together, there's the three of us, on his show, Safest Family on the Block. We did part 1 over there, we released part 2 on the martial arts radio feed. And it was my first time working with Chris. And I'd always known about Chris. Francis says the chat with Chris was great. Oh, and I missed. You have built something meaningful and a great, genuine community. Thank you. It means a lot, Francis. I'd never worked with Chris. I knew who he was. I had respect for him for what he had done, but we had never talked. In some of the early days of the show, there was an interesting transition that went on. And some people kind of slipped through these cracks, but it went from me not feeling good enough as a podcaster, as an interviewer, to approach people that were doing similar things to what we were doing. I was nervous that they would feel like I was stepping on their turf. And then, in my mind, it very quickly flipped from me being nervous and not feeling good enough to me feeling like I had stepped on their turf and had built something and was kind of embarrassed that, or thought that they may not like me for doing a show and did not want to be embarrassed by reaching out and getting rejected from people I looked up to. Now, the two people who slipped through that transitional period were Jared Wilson of Martial Thoughts and Ando Mearswa of Fight for a Happy Life. Two friends, two people I think very highly of. And you know, you've heard from them. They were on episode 600, and you know, we've done some good stuff. But now I'm at a point where I'll reach out to anybody. Hey, you have a show? 2 people watch it? Cool. You want to come on ours? You want me to come on yours? I don't mind. We're all trying to do the same thing. We all love martial arts. We're all trying to help each other out, or at least should be. And because in those early days, so few people were willing to help me, I will help them. Because I think it's the way to go. Now we've got some comments here. Looking at a bunch of stuff, filtering out spam. That's spam. Can we remove this one? No, it was already removed. Okay. Here we go. And Frank has given us some quotes. Thank you, Frank. And now for some quotes from Pulitzer Prize winning playwright Tennessee Williams. What's the most famous play he wrote? It's on the tip of my tongue. Raisin in the Sun? Isn't that his? Hey Google, who wrote A Raisin in the Sun?
Lorraine Hansberry was playwright for A Raisin in the Sun.
Nope, not that one. What did he write? Somebody will chime in the chat. That'll be helpful. Not facing a fire doesn't put it out. I feel like there are so many people who need to have this tattooed on the inside of their eyeballs. Avoiding a problem doesn't get rid of it. It just makes it worse. Yeah, there are problems that you can't fix. There are problems you can't do anything about. Like the fact that I apparently have new neighbors up there who have dogs that bark 100% of the time. I feel bad for these dogs. I don't know why. They're barking all the time. If there's a problem, you have two choices. Well, I guess you have three choices. You ignore it. That doesn't do anything. You accept it, which some could say is the same as ignoring it, but at least it's a more active process. You're taking control of the situation. Or you take action about it, which is still an active process. Of those three choices, the only one that's wrong is ignoring it. I cannot think of a problem where ignoring it is better. You know, you hear about people doing this with, thank you, Stacy, A Streetcar Named Desire was the play that Tennessee Williams wrote, the famous one. I cannot think of a problem where ignoring it was better. People do that with dental work. You know, and also, well, you know, my tooth hurt, but I figured I would just wait. Gathering more information, understanding the situation is always better, because then you can make an educated choice as opposed to a speculative choice. Life is partly what we make it, and partly what it is made by the friends we choose. I enunciated that improperly. Let's try it again. Life is partly what we make it, and partly what it is made by the friends we choose. No, I get that right. It's a little rough, that's all. People popping in, sending texts this early. Who we surround ourselves with dictates a huge amount of what goes on in our lives. Not only how we see the world, our activities, our ambitions. What's the saying? There's another podcaster that I won't mention. Most of you likely wouldn't know who he is in the business space. And he says, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Now, I don't think it's his line, but that's where I first heard it. And it's true. I think about who I am and how that shifts a little bit from time to time. You know, we all adjust around who we spend time with. We all have a little bit of that tendency. It's a good thing. I'm not going to talk to all of my friends in exactly the same way or about the same subjects. If you want to be successful professionally, you should surround yourself with professionally successful people. If you want to be a better martial artist, make sure some of your friends are better martial artists. If you are the best at things, all the things in your friends group, the other people are pulling you down. You need to make at least some acquaintances. You need to know some people who are doing better than you. I try to spend time with people who are doing better than me. I try to spend time with people who challenge me intellectually, emotionally, not in like a, their mean way. Physically, I try to hang out with people who are active and like to do stuff. It's not always easy. Go back to the beginning of the episode. Sometimes people don't show up for you. What is straight? A line can be straight or a street, but the human heart, oh no, it's curved like a road through the mountains. I don't know what to take from that. I'm suspecting that because Frank chose Tennessee Williams quotes Tennessee Williams, because Pride Month is gay. So I'm not quite sure if that's what he means with straight versus curved. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what to do with that. I think we just read it and nod. So I'll go to the next one. Luck is believing you're lucky. I've been pretty lucky. Now there's a podcast that when I think of luck, I think of this question. There's a podcast I listen to from NPR called How I Built This, hosted by Guy Raz. It's one of the better business podcasts out there. And even if you're not, a business person, if you're not into businessy stuff, you might want to check it out because they've interviewed a tremendous number of founders, and there's a good chance that some of the companies that you do business with have been profiled in pouring more coffee. This is one of the advantages of using the French presses. I have more coffee ready to go. For example, they had an interview a couple years ago with the founder of Bumble, the dating app, and it was interesting to watch the initial public offering and then some of the fallout that happened. Was that this year? I think that was this year. Around Bumble and some of the numbers that they may or may not have fudged, and to take it back and remember her story that I heard on that show. And they've had all kinds of other great people. But there's a question that the interviewer asks at the end of every episode. How much of your success do you attribute to luck, and how much do you attribute to skill? And it's interesting how people will answer that, because so many of them, you can hear them being humble. And for quite a few of them, it sounds like it's some false humility. Because if you're going to start a company and you're going to keep that company alive, that takes skill. If you're going to grow that company, yeah, there's some luck involved, but it takes skill. And here's how I look at that. Here's how I would answer that question, because maybe someday I'll be on that show. And Guy Raz will ask me how much of the success of Whistlekick has been luck and how much has been skill. Luck is something, if we think about like rolling dice or percentages, that the more time you have available, the more likely things are going to come up your way. Most successful things are the result of frequent attempts. If you look at anything, two people find each other and get married. How many dates with other people did they have to go on first? You find the right house. How many houses did you have to look at? You make a friend. How many people weren't your friend? You win a martial arts competition. How many times did you have to suck in training and in competition before that form or that technique, sparring, whatever, worked out? There's a slim chance that anything is going to happen. And yet, you can increase those chances through skill, through practice, through knowledge. But when you're talking about the really rare things, big success, the way I look at business, the longer you're around, the longer you survive, the more likely something is going to go your way. And this is why you see a lot of businesses that have the, people call it like the 5 or the 10-year overnight success. That they just plodded along in complete anonymity for a very long time. And then all of a sudden something went their way. And poof, it exploded. And I've known that we were likely to be that. We're still looking for what is the thing that goes poof and helps us reach everybody. I don't know. I know it's not this show because we've tried this show. Doesn't mean we're going to stop doing this show. There's a lot of value here. It's not martial arts radio. Martial arts radio has been a slow burn. It's helping us. But it's not, could it be the magazine? Maybe. Could it be the programs? Maybe. Could it be the flexibility program that I'm not going to have time to work on today? I did work on that yesterday. Could be any number of things. And that's why part of business, part of success in life is doing a lot of the things that you know are helpful and they work, and taking some gambles here and there. It's a good strategy for investment in the stock market. It's a good strategy for business. It's a good strategy in martial arts. It's a good strategy overall. The majority of your time should go into tried and true things that you know you continue to apply effort and you will see success or growth or whatever. Those numbers move in the right direction. But then have a little bit of time or money or energy carved aside to take some risk. See what happens. Was that the last one? I think there's one more. Nothing's more determined than a cat on a hot tin roof. And that's where I'll leave it. Because what do you say to that? There's not much you can say. I could say thank you. Thanks for watching or listening, because yeah, we have it in audio. I hope you enjoy all the things that we do at Whistlekick. If you want to support us, you can grab one of these mugs at whistlekick.com. Use the code FIRSTCUP15. You can grab one of our programs at whistlekickprograms.com. You can grab one of our books on Amazon. You could support our Patreon, patreon.com/whistlekick. You get behind-the-scenes content, free merch. There is a drill that I'm going to say I invented as a combination of the flexibility stuff that I'm working on and giving you all a tool of something that you can do easily at home that is going to come out in the video tier. I think that's the VIP tier. $10 a month in the Patreon. And then every 3 months you get like a shirt. You know, check it out. I was hoping to record that yesterday. It didn't happen. It is on the schedule now for Thursday. It'll be a quick video, but I want to get it right. I'll probably play with it a little bit. Putting together new tools for martial artists, because that's what I do. All right. Thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I will see you all tomorrow because we do the show every weekday, 6:30 a.m. U.S. Eastern Time, right here on YouTube. Thanks for watching. If you're new, hit subscribe. Turn on notifications. Check out some of the other stuff that we do. Thanks for watching, everyone. Leave me some comments below. I'll see you then. Take care. Peace.